Look, in my time in this Nigerian football media industry, I have heard many different comments that I disagreed with, some that I thought were just very uninformed, and some that I thought were outright stupid. But this one, honestly, is a discovery. Victor Boniface doesn't have talent? Let's get into it. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to EaglesTracker, the home of Nigerian football. My name is AyoT, and today I am diving into a hot topic that's been making rounds in Nigerian football circles and even mainstream media at this point. This incident started when a Paul Sport podcaster, for no reason, during one of their podcasts, one of their shows, made a very bold and controversial statement. A statement that honestly I think is just flat out untrue. She implied that Victor Boniface doesn't have football talent, suggesting that his online presence with his memes, saying giveaways, compensates for all of that. So that's why people engage with him. People lie to him that he's funny. Maybe that's why he's always posting memes, because his football talent doesn't match up. I don't even know where that can come from. Victor Boniface, in his typical humorous way, he clapped back. He posted a very funny video.
Howard, what are you thinking?
She lied, and I should have known better when I seen her hair. I should have left.
Taking shots at her. And he also exposed some of private messages where you can see that this same person who is now criticizing him like this was once praising him, was once asking him for his jersey, was once asking him for money. Of course, this exchange went viral, highlighting not just personal criticism, but for me, a systemic issue in our media landscape, and something that if we don't address is going to keep getting worse in this day and age of social media, where everybody is looking for clicks, everybody's looking for engagement, everybody's looking at the number of views that they got. Let me just say something first. Victor Boniface is one of the best Nigerian footballers in the world right now. Simple as that. Boniface is shining in the German Bundesliga. He's playing Champions League football. He's making a name for himself. 51 games for Bayer Leverkusen. This boy has 31 goals and 10 assists. Come on now, let's be real. Does somebody that doesn't have talent do or get numbers like that? So when a Nigerian podcaster says something like that, what exactly is the goal? Is this football analysis? Is this informed, objective football discussion? Or are you just chasing clouds? For me, this is a bigger issue than just Victor Boniface. Nigerian football media, Nigerian sports media has a serious credibility issue. We have almost shifted from insightful analysis, insightful conversations, insightful debates to just clickbait and sensational takes. Look, I have friends at Paul Sports. I have worked with Paul Sports in the past, but I think that they need to re-look and they need to reimagine their structure. A lot of the content that comes out is just intended to be controversial. It's just intended to be negative. It's just intended to garner negative reaction. And I know maybe their KPIs is depending on the number of views, things like that, the engagement, but it is not good. It is not worth it. The girl in question now, she's posting on her social media. She's gained maybe 300, 400 followers. And is that worth it? Is that worth your name being dragged through the mud? She's posting on her story, acting like she doesn't care, she doesn't matter. But is it worth it? Is it worth the little 15 minutes of fame that you're getting right now? Nobody is going to take you serious again in this space. It does not matter where you go. Nobody is going to take you seriously. No footballer is ever going to take you seriously when you make comments like that. It's not the first time. Boniface is not the first person that something like this will happen to. But of course, Boniface is somebody that doesn't hold back. If you take shots at him, he's going to come back at you. And that's one of the things that I honestly like about him. You might look at it and say, oh, that's not how a professional should act. But sometimes, you guys, we need to understand that footballers are human beings too. Footballers are human beings too. There is a lack of football education now in Nigerian football media. Everybody is a content creator. Even I'm a content creator. I didn't study journalism. But at the same time, when you have a platform, you need to use your platform better. You just need to be more intentional about the things that you say. On that podcast, no disrespect to anybody there, but how many of them actually watch full matches? How many of them actually go and review games? How many of them actually understand tactics? How many of them actually do research before speaking? I know that this girl doesn't. She showed it. I think there's 3 things that I really want to highlight. 1, lack of constructive criticism. Instead of providing insightful analysis, that could help players. Instead of you really breaking down the game, breaking down performances, talking with facts, talking with stats, saying things that make sense, you are shifting towards your sensationalism. On that same podcast, they were discussing, I think, Osimhen versus Jackson or something like that. It's like, come on, guys. Osimhen is better than Nicolas Jackson. Like, we don't need to be making this kind of sensational statements, just trying to get reactions. If your content is good, speak honestly, speak insightfully, show your knowledge. People will engage with it. People will like it. People will follow you. There's no need to just be making inflammatory comments. The second thing, chasing clout. My days. Everybody now is just looking for a viral moment. And it is ruining the space. Everybody is just looking for a viral moment. Like, as somebody in the Nigerian media space, there's honestly just a handful of platforms, handful of people that I genuinely enjoy listening to, because a lot of people are just saying whatever for viral moments. People are talking about things that don't matter just because they want to get a viral moment. People are making so many clickbaity titles, just creating controversy where there's none because they are looking for a viral moment. Somebody like Victor Boniface is the tough guy. He's going to respond. He's not really going to care about what you say about him. But imagine if he's a different player. These things can harm people. These things can affect the mental health. These things can affect public perception. You need to be more intentional and more careful and more thoughtful about the things that you say, especially when you're on a big platform like Paul Sports Nigeria. It's also a call for Paul Sports, man. Choose your people better. I understand, again, you guys want the views. You guys want the clicks. You guys want the engagement, but come on, guys. You cannot be hiring people that know nothing about football to come and talk about football on a platform like Paul Sports. And then they have the original Pulse platform that they use to amplify the sensational comments. Whenever somebody makes a comment like that, they will use the original platform to amplify it again, further just showing the need for clout, the need for virality, the need for attention, the need for just clicks, for just, a reaction. And I don't think this is a road that we should be going down. I don't think this is something that we should be doing. If the big platforms like that are doing something like that, then what do we expect from smaller creators, smaller people in the media industry that are just trying to come up? They too will be looking at it that, okay, if I bash these one or two players, my video goes viral, maybe that's my ticket into Clout, that's my ticket into making more money. And it is a very dangerous path for us to go on. Now, the third thing, support versus critique. The reality is that there is a very fine line between critique and outright disrespect. Even I criticize players' performances at times. And in the past, I will admit, I've also crossed that line and I've been disrespectful to certain players that I've had to track back. I've had to apologize to them. And it's something that I try not to do again. If I'm talking about any player, even if I'm criticizing, even if I'm talking relatively negatively, it has to be based in stats. It has to be based in facts. It has to be based in insights. Don't just make silly jokes for the sake of making silly jokes and disrespecting people. The role of Nigerian media, especially Nigerian football media, should also include supporting and celebrating our players' achievements. Let's pick them up, especially when they are doing well, not just highlighting their perceived shortcomings. Because at the end of the day, see, football is a game of opinions. Somebody can look at you and say you're a bad football player. Another person looks at you and says you're a gift to football. It's a game of opinions. So if you are going to talk about perceived shortcomings, you have to pick them up, and rightfully so. The career that Victor Boniface has had in his short time playing football, I promise you, 95% of Nigerian footballers, even let's forget the ones at home, 95% of Nigerian footballers abroad would love to have, what am I saying, half of the career that Victor Boniface has had in a short amount of time. So again, for somebody to talk about Victor Boniface of all people, say he doesn't have talent, it just absolutely makes zero sense. I don't even want to start another debate here, but when we're talking about pure football talent, Boniface is actually one of the most talented that we have right now. But let's not get into that. See, the impact of something like this, it impacts players, impacts fans, it impacts the media. But on the player side, when a player is criticized, especially in public and in a very unconstructive manner, depending on the player, it can affect performance, it can affect confidence, and it will definitely affect how they interact with fans and the media. When other people want to interview players, of course, the player might say no. Oh, you guys just talk crap about me all the time. How it impacts fans? It can shape public perception. If fans are not aware, if people don't speak up, if people don't speak out, fans can start to actually question a player's skills based on one person's silly opinion. Now, because this is Victor Boniface and his achievements, his performances are well pronounced, everybody sees it. This one person, unfortunately, cannot sway people's opinions. But again, imagine if this was not Victor Boniface. Imagine if it was a lesser-known player, if it was a younger player, if it was somebody that has not had the kind of achievements that Victor Boniface has had. People might actually start to question whether the person is good or not. Again, if you want to analyze, if you want to criticize, let it be based on facts, let it be based on opinions. And how it affects the media, not only what I already said about players maybe not wanting to interact or speak to the media because of these kind of issues, but also the credibility of the media just keeps on going down and down and down. Fans no longer want to listen to these opinions because they realize that sometimes you are just talking crap, and sometimes it might just be based on vendetta. I'm not saying this girl's one was based on vendetta, but it's a funny coincidence that you were begging him for jersey, you were begging him for money, and all of a sudden, he did not reply you, and now you're criticizing him. It's just a very convenient thing that happened. People will start to lose credibility for the media. People will start to lose respect for the media. In the future now, if I come and criticize a player, even if I'm saying things that are factual, people might say, it's because AyoT asked him for jersey. It's because AyoT asked him for money. He didn't give money. And this thing affects us across the board. So please, Paul Sports and this podcaster, you need to get your things together, man. I don't want to swear here, but you need to get your right. You cannot just say things like this. You cannot put people like this on a platform just because of views, just because of clout. It makes no sense. We need to be fostering an environment where our players, our Nigerian footballers are encouraged and not discouraged, especially by their own. Nigerian football is still growing. We're still trying to build the brand of our Nigerian football. Why are we the ones that are tearing it down? Can you imagine, just imagine, if an English analyst, commentator, pundit, whatever, called Jude Bellingham talentless, or called Bukayo Saka talentless, or called Declan Rice talentless? Can you even imagine? It makes no sense. Boniface is one of the best Nigerian footballers right now. He's making waves in the world. And that's who you chose to call talentless. See, in the Nigerian media, we need to set better standards. More analysis, more education, and less clout chasing. Media professionals need to actually study the game, need to actually watch matches, need to actually know how to analyze performances before just coming online to make baseless comments. We need to also encourage fans to hold these platforms accountable. My platform, your platform, anybody's platform. If someone is talking outright nonsense, don't give them the clout that they're looking for. Don't give them the engagement. Don't give them the attention they want. If you are giving them any attention, call them out on their BS. We need to hold people accountable. And we need to support Nigerian footballers constructively. Criticism is fine. I've never been one to say don't criticize. But criticize based on facts. And be well informed before you criticize. Know exactly what you are talking about. Now, I'll admit, I didn't go and watch the entire podcast because, God forbid, I'm going to give them that audience. But from the clips I saw, it cannot be misconstrued. She said what she said, and she said nonsense. Now, as far as Victor Boniface, again, like I've said, Boniface is one player that I know personally does not really care what people say about him in the public space. He will come back at you and he will move on with his life. That's it for him. He doesn't let these things get to him. He will keep on proving them wrong on the field. But like I said, this is a problem that needs to be fixed in the Nigerian media space, in the Nigerian football media space in particular. In conclusion, I'll just say, again, this situation isn't just about Victor Boniface, isn't just about one player, isn't just about one podcast. It is a wake-up call to all of us about how we treat our sports players and our sports heroes in Nigeria. We need to uplift, not undermine people. Let's change the narrative. Let's support our athletes. Let's demand more from the media. We need to do better. That's where I'll leave it. Thank you guys for watching. Please hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel for more discussions like this. And let's chat in the comments about what you guys think of this whole situation. how you think we can make Nigerian football media space a beacon for positive change and not a place where people are just chasing clouds. Remember, guys, please, your feedback matters to me. If you have ideas about how we can do better, please leave it in the comments. If you have ideas about other topics that you want me to talk about, please leave it in the comments and I'll get to as many of them as possible. Let's keep the love for Nigerian football going. I love Nigerian football so much. I love Nigerian footballers so much. And I want them to keep on doing better. It's time to uplift our own, not to tear them down. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. See you in the next video.